Hello everybody, welcome to another Minecraft video. Now, I have a couple things I need to say before we actually get started. Firstly, if anyone has actually noticed this, which of course I have my doubts, but if anyone has, there has been a bit of a delay between last episode and the episode before. I usually get around to uploading at least we'll say 2 episodes per month. But last episode took a while longer, and that is because a lot of things have happened in my personal life. I have successfully gotten my first ever full-time job, and I have also moved to my very own apartment for the first time in my life. So that is why there's been a bit of a delay between episodes. Now, in the last episode, we managed to finally upgrade our shovel with Silk Touch, our axe with Silk Touch, and we finally put blocks down, and it is looking golden. There are a couple of small things that I might tweak, especially, or even try out, especially when I'm making these paths over here. But for right now, is looking good. Now, if you can also tell, the audio is a bit different because I've messed with my OBS settings to hopefully avoid any delay between my audio and my actual video recording in OBS Studio, which, as we know, I have had very good experience with. In the sense of I have had many recordings where the audio just nonchalantly halfway through the recording decides to delay itself by about 5 seconds. Hopefully, in this recording, this has all been fixed, but I, of course, have my doubts. So, let's finally see. Alright, so pretty much today, the thing that we're going to be working on is starting to get these ready for block placing, this section and the section over here. But we are also going to be farming crops, the usual suspects, breeding and then slaughtering the animals, trading with villagers, mostly to keep these tools in a reasonable area. I might also try and get some enchantments on the helmet, but that may or may not happen because the main focus isn't really levels for myself, as I have updated the gear that I need to. But if this helmet gets to below 100 during this recording, don't be too surprised if I just rapidly put Unbreaking 3 mending. So, without further ado, gotta start breaking some blocks. Oh. I gotta get good. How'd you die? Oh, just got mercilessly destroyed by an Enderman. Full diamond armor, full prot 4. Goodbye, wall of tree farm. Alright, I didn't want to do this, but I'm gonna have to do this. I'm basically gonna do what I did with this, where I break everything so it looks kind of like a cube, and I place a lot of things back. Alright, I did some work. It looks terrible. I'm gonna go cry now. Alright, be right back. I hate it. Here's the thought process right now. I've been trying to do this in a section, kind of, right before the curve. After looking at images online for a little bit, I should really incorporate pretty much all the way out to this area right here. So it's back to breaking blocks, I guess. Oh God, why is it so dark in here? Why is there netherrack and deep slate? Why am I in creative? Why is it day 207? The heck is that? As you can see, I've been a little bit busy. I have spent, as you can see by the day counter, 207 days in-game to create a baseline plan, which you can see behind me, to hopefully fix the main problems I've had with this build. I recorded essentially none of this. I think I have one screenshot from when I first started this, or maybe like halfway through. I'll put it on the screen. But I spent a lot of time trying to figure out why specifically I couldn't make the corner that I have been getting so frustrated with look good. And I've come to the beautiful realization that the reason why I can't get that corner to look good is because everything that I have done so far about this build is very inorganic. Now, how this odd conglomerate of shapes came to be was I started with a baseline in red, and I built out every single block that goes down. I placed a block of red. About, what would you call this? 5 blocks, 10 blocks above the surface of this ravine. I then attempted to highlight the area that should be rock in black to hopefully add some more curves. Because I quickly found out after looking on the internet is that most ravines are very curved. As water carves through rock, it twists and turns and creates naturally flowing curves and bends, slowly carving out and channeling out canyons, ravines, and other scars into the crust of the earth. I then took this red and black form and built on top of it in green initially to highlight the shape, and originally this green trail went all the way down tip to tip, but then I continued to refine it in blue and gray to more importantly highlight where the rock would need to be put back and what would eventually become water. Now, like I said, I used dozens of different images and inspirations to help me figure out exactly what shaping I would need to make it look good, or at least halfway decent. The thing I figured out quite quickly, actually, was the fact that I couldn't make this corner look that good strictly because the first thing I did was I chunked out this area, and then I chunked out the other segments, when really you should be thinking of this as one whole, almost organism, in the way that every curve has not only an action, but a reaction, much like the laws of physics. With every curve, there is an opposing curve, and that continues on all the way down the line. When I first started this, if you can tell just by looking at the gray, where both layers meet up, and even there on the ground, this is very straight. I've saw so many images, but I saw none of them where a ravine actually started perfectly straight, especially when there was some natural water feature like a waterfall. So this had to be the first thing to fix. The other thing I figured out is that in real life, most ravines or crevices in the earth don't possess these cave-like areas. It's very much, it starts at the bottom, but then gets wider and wider at the top. Almost no natural ravines or rivers or anything of that variety, any group of flowing water, will possess like these type of like rock ceilings. Now, that isn't to say that they don't happen, they do, but it's relatively rare, especially in the conditions I have set for myself with this particular build. That isn't to say that I'm not going to keep at least this area over here where there's a bit of a ceiling, but something as drastic as this really should not form. Just so now the plan is that I'm going to have to break the majority of the things that I built in here. As you can see out to here, I'm keeping at least some of the transition so I have a benchmark for what I need to do when I finally start adding a gradient over in these sections. But for right now, the future is I'm going to be destroying the majority of the work I've done here and building this entire pattern as one solid entity into the base of the rock, which is already at about Y43, and then slowly I will carve out from this pattern into the sides of the stone rock, and only when that is done and I'm happy with how that looks, I will go back and I will add the gradient back, and hopefully then, and only then, I can call this build good. There we go. Back to diamond armor and tools. I know this isn't ideal. I mean, even I don't want to do it. But for me, I think this is the best course of action in order to finish this project, to make it something that I'll actually enjoy in the end. Something that I think will look at least half decent. Better than everything that has come before it. Which isn't saying much, evidently. This is just something we're gonna have to do. Now, between the last time I worked on this before taking that long break and the time before when I broke everything and then replaced everything for the 100th time, it felt like, I did convert it to stone, because at the time I thought it looked good, and then I converted it to stone, and that internal voice spoke of, wow, this really stinks. So it's sad, but I'm gonna have to break it all apart. Otherwise, still haven't upgraded the diamond helmet. It's below 100. Should probably do that pretty quick. So, let's go upgrade this helmet and get back to work. I need levels, and I hear a couple zombies above me. Give me a carrot. So, let's crack in. Alright, say goodbye to all of this. And a lot of that as well. Need to get up here. Ah! I'm gonna buy some. Yeah, just give me all the fun stuff, I guess. All the fun building materials. Gotta heal up the good old pickaxe. So, you know exactly what that means. It's farming time. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say earlier, because I got a little distracted healing up the pickaxes, but I have perfectly mirrored with cobblestone and deep slate the pattern in the creative world. So now all I have to do is mine up. Yay. I'll have to take note of where the mine is. Will not be able to see it later. Alright. With those final blocks placed, I think, at least for now, I'm kind of done placing and breaking blocks, or placing blocks to really fill out the cobblestone areas down there. I think I have the whole, like, deep slate area mined out, and I think I have pretty much the whole cobblestone area placed down. Yeah, the reason why I'm not going to do this area over here is really just to keep this area of pattern intact. So the plan is, like, starting from this area onward, I'll probably do the patterns and whatnot. I'll redo the deep slate lines probably pretty quickly, which I don't have enough in my inventory. But I'll redo those lines, and then it'll be starting to break blocks and form out the ravine again. Alright, it's time to start shaping up this. Making it look decent. Before I do that, I'm gonna do my usual things of farming, trading. Nope. Nope. I just want a carrot. Still nothing? How many zombies have I killed? No. Nothing? Bruh. Well, at least we can see the sunrise, kind of. 200 days, baby! Alrighty, that's another 25 days of hardcore Minecraft. Big plans for the next episode. Thank you for watching for this long. I bid you the fondest of adieus. Bye!